The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining my channel. And thank you for supporting it by going to our webpage and purchasing some of the books that Raphael has channeled through me, as well as going to Amazon and getting our new book, the wonderful Ask Raphael book. Please support us in this way. And I know you will love the book. And once you read it, I know you're going to have comments. So I hope you will come here and ask the comments so that I can ask your questions so that Raphael can answer through me. It has been a long journey to get this book out, and we've had a lot of roadblocks that I'm sure the dark side does not want it to come out, because this is a book of hope and it is a book of how to be happy. And so we really, really encourage you to go to Amazon and get that book and tell us what you think about it. Okay, today we're going to do a guided meditation. I know when I do this with a group of people, they just love it because it helps you to relax. And of course, if you're driving, then please don't do this. But it is a way to relax and to get into your playful mind where you can let the ideas flow from your guardian angel. And you can begin to understand how to communicate with your angel. So let's begin by learning how to do abdominal breathing. That's one of the most key things that you can do. And that is that you do not breathe up here in your chest like this. And that tightens you up and you get very shallow breath. And if you're to do that too much, you'd actually pass out. So you don't want to do that. So you breathe all the way down to your abdomen. That means that you can put your hand right at your waistline, and you need to move your hand when you take a breath. Let's do it now. Ready? All right. Now pull in the gut. Pull in your gut as you press out and tighten up your gut, because then that pushes the air out and allows you to breathe from the abdomen. Now, I was a vocal music teacher. And I had church choirs that I taught how to breathe and how to sing. And so this is something that I learned. Plus, I learned it when I had my children. I have 4 children. And for all 4 of them, I learned to do the abdominal breathing, which helped in the pains from childbirth. So I recommend it wholeheartedly to learn how to use it and to use it every day. But if you are a speaker, you need to know how to project your voice. And if you don't do it from the abdomen, you could cause nodules in your vocal cords. And those are like little growths that will stop you from actually having your voice. You could take your voice away. So we are encouraging you to learn to do abdominal breathing and to do it to relax. So if you're feeling anxious at one point in time, you do the abdominal breathing, you make sure your shoulders are relaxed, and you'll be surprised how it can get rid of anxiety, how it can help you at a time of stress. Abdominal breathing is such an important thing for good health as well. So again, begin with the abdominal breath. Let's do it together. Ready? Breathe in and breathe out. And let's do it again. Slow, deep breath going in. Hold it for a moment. And then a slow, deep breath going out. Johnny, thank you. Johnny has joined us. She says it is an excellent way to lower blood pressure. That is very true, because whenever you are anxious or angry, the abdominal breathing will help to calm you down and to have more sane in what you want to say rather than you blurting out something that you wished you hadn't said. By abdominal breathing and relaxing your shoulders, you will be able to be calmer and be able to talk in a way that makes sense. So lowering your blood pressure is something good too. So take a slow, deep breath again. Go all the way down to your belly button. And then as you exhale, tighten up your gut. Just tighten it up and keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Now, Johnny, being with us today, thank you. Not only about lowering your blood pressure, but it's also, if you ever want to learn to sing, you got to be able to control your breath. So if you have to hold a note for quite a long time, you need to be able to tighten up your gut and keep on talking and keep on talking before you have to take a breath again. So it's, but especially for meditation. If you don't know how to do abdominal breathing, you'll probably had a hard time getting into a deep meditative state. And that's what we want to work on today. We want to help you to be able to hear your own angel guides. And so let's begin again. Take a slow, deep breath that goes all the way down to your belly button. There you go. Feel your whole waistline swell up with a breath. And then right now, I am talking and I am tightening up my gut because I'm letting that breath keep on going and going and going and going. And then I take another deep breath. Here we go. And again, don't let your shoulders raise up. Keep the shoulders down. But again, a slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale this time, imagine that all of your worries are exhaling with that breath. It's just going out of you and releasing you and all of the things that you've had to worry about. Instead of thinking about what you worried about now, let's think about how joyful you want to feel when you are filled with the Holy Spirit, as some people call it. When you are filled with the God mind, you are able to relax and heal your body. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be any miraculous kind of healing, but if you've had some problems that can be helped by this is like biofeedback. They used to teach that a long time ago to help you overcome stress. And as Johnny says, lower your blood pressure. So let's do it again. A slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, imagine again that all of the angry words that were said maybe a day or a week ago are just going out of your body like smoke, like kind of a gray smoke. It just breathes out as you breathe in pure white light. Let's do it again. Breathe in pure white light. And as you exhale, imagine all of your present and past and future concerns are just blowing in the wind. For when you are in the now moment, dear friends, when you are in this moment of learning how to breathe abdominally, it is the best moment of your life. Because once you learn to stay in the moment and pay attention to your breath, when you find yourself anxious or upset or angry, and you do this deep breathing, reason comes back and you can hear your angel's voice again. When you are having a stressful moment, when you breathe deeply and call upon your angelic friends, they are there for you and you will hear them. But if you are angry and frustrated and want to yell and scream and kick and holler, I'm afraid the angels kind of disappear. They don't want to be around that kind of energy and they just gone. So right now, take a slow, deep breath. Breathe in. And as you exhale, imagine that all the stress of this past week, and if you had stress on Mother's Day, I certainly hope you didn't, but sometimes when family gets together, and especially during COVID, there can be stress. So if there were unkind words or words that were not intending to do unkindness but did, Because if you meet with family, that kind of stuff can happen, can't it? So let's take a deep breath this time. And as you exhale, imagine that you are allowing all of that negative energy to just flow out of your mouth as you exhale. So take a slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, any unkind words, any thoughts that you've had of worry, anything like that, you let it go. Now, if your mom passed away because of COVID, and I saw that in some of the news, that this was a very sad Mother's Day. And if so, please remember that when people make the transmission to the other side, they are filled with divine light, and all of their cares and worries disappear, for they have only love energy that greets them. So don't mourn for those who have passed. You've heard the saying, they're in a better place. Well, truly they are. Raphael says that you go through the tunnel, which is called the vortex of ascension. You go through a tunnel that helps you to get rid of all of that negativity that you might have carried with you past the time of your being on this planet. You get rid of it, and all you can feel is unconditional love. And even though you go through a time of looking back at your life, you're the only one that judges it. There's no one in that lifetime afterwards that will judge what you have done, because your angels and God know that you are a sentient being in a planet of opposites, and you are bound to swing back and forth between the dark and the light. It is part of the physical being on planet Earth. So don't judge yourself or anyone else, especially yourself, though. Sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves and thinking, why did we do that? Why did we make that decision way back when? Especially if it was a relationship that went bad. You need to understand that sometimes your council of elders, which is a group of souls that are on the other side now, they're not incarnating anymore. They're wise old souls. They work with you. Everybody has a council of elders, and they work with you during this lifetime. And sometimes they will set you up with a relationship that was something perhaps from another lifetime, and it needed to be ended, or it needed to be completed or balanced, however you want to look at it. And so those relationships that cause you pain, release them now as you exhale and send them off into the light. And know that your council of elders set you up for that relationship so that you could work through it and be done with it. Relationships are hard when they end badly. But last week we talked about relationships and how the different parts of relationships are so important. That it isn't just the physical part of the relationship, that's the least part of it, but the soul compatibility, the mental compatibility or intellectual compatibility. The physical compatibility also has to do with the things you like to do. If you're married to someone who likes to be outdoors and likes to climb mountains and things like that, and you're a bookworm and stay home, you might not have a very good relationship. But if you also like the outdoors and you go along with that and you enjoy being together with your mate, doing things outdoors and doing things together, you have the chance of a very strong, steady relationship. So we're talking about abdominal breathing now to help you to create the world you desire to create, that you can be in charge of. But I have to warn you that your soul has a plan, a story to tell. And sometimes it's something you may not have chosen. For example, as I've said, if you've had a bad relationship that ended, then you might understand that sometimes you have to finish old stories. That's what some people call karma, but it's not anything that is owed or anything that you are being punished for. There's no such thing as that in God's world, and you are part of God's world. There's only pure love and pure acceptance. So, if you do have a relationship that is not going well, ask for divine guidance in how and what you need to do. And then take time to talk to friends and those people who have been close to you to get other people's opinion. But in the end, it is only your choice. You are the one that has to make a decision about everything. Even when you go into your closet and decide what you're going to wear today. I decided to be a Floridian with my bright colors here. And it is beautiful and warm here. In fact, in the 80s most of the time. And it is beautiful. I've had such good blessings of having my neighbor who helps me keep my property up and has just now cleaned the screens off from the screen room on my art studio. It is for me a blessing to have someone that is able to help me out in my old age. And so it is for you to understand that you are the creator of your world. Let's be clear about that. You are the creator. And what you think is truth becomes truth, even though it may be a lie. And there are many lies circulating in politics. So you got to be careful about what you tune into. But make sure that you understand that what you are creating is the truth for you, even though as you grow and gain knowledge and wisdom, you find out that that truth really wasn't what you thought it was. And so you change your mind. That's what being on the planet is all about. We are learning from our experiences and the choices that we make. And everything that happens, even though it may seem to be bad, it is actually good because it has given you compassion for others who are going through what you went through. It is ability to give you to see more clearly how others are living their lives. And so you're gaining wisdom with every decision you make. And that is something that you need to be understanding and be aware that your life is unfolding according to your soul's plan. So there is a story that your soul is telling. And the people who come into your life are people that are part of the plan of that story. And your guardian angel, and again, I point to the beautiful little stained glass angel, I had to think of the right words, behind me. Again, that was a change that came in my life when my second husband came into my life. And it was an experience that was filled with love and appreciation for one another. And it was Joe's idea for me to create that particular angel. And since I'd already created the form in a backdrop on one of the big expos where I would do readings, I used that and took it to a stained glass artist, and that's how they made that angel. And it has been a blessing for me ever since, which is part of the reason why this goes into the room across behind me. It goes into the meditation room. And there I usually turn on candles, and I didn't take time to do it today. But that is something too. Always have candles around where you can light them when you want to meditate. They're helpful. So back to abdominal breathing. Need to understand that, yes, Johnny is right in that it does lower your blood pressure, especially if you're anxious about something or you're angry about something. When you take deep abdominal breaths, it helps to calm you down and bring back your sanity so that the decisions you make are not made in anger or a time when you are stressed. If you are stressed, don't make any decisions because you would maybe regret them later. So you need to have a calm mind and a calm body, and abdominal breathing helps you to do that. So today, besides the abdominal breathing, I'd like to do a little guided meditation because they're always fun and they will give you information about yourself. So let's take a slow, deep abdominal breath. And as you release it, imagine that kind of dark smoke is coming out of your body, out of your pores. So all of the negativity that is around you in politics, oh my goodness, the things that people are doing today to try to suppress the vote so that they can get what they want, trying to control people and really take away their free will. That is something that can be very stressful, and you need to be aware of the tricks of the trade of the politicians and not let them manipulate you or your vote or try to tell you that you can't vote. That is absolutely false. This is something you need to fight for because that's what democracy is all about. And without that right to vote, we're not a democracy. And all of these rules and regulations that politicians are putting up to make the vote harder, that's really not good. And we need to speak out and say so. So this stress of politics in today's world can be also difficult on the physical body. And that's why abdominal breathing comes in, where you take a slow, deep breath. So let's do that now. And if you wish, close your eyes and take a deep, deep breath. And as you feel your body relaxing, feel all of the gray, negative energy just sort of seeping out of your pores and being replaced with bright light. As you fill up with the sense of love, pure and unconditional, as you fill up and see yourself surrounded by angels, one on either side, one in the front, and one in the back, and they are causing you to levitate. See yourself wherever you are, sitting in a chair or lying on a couch. See yourself levitating and see angels surrounding you and holding you. It takes an imagination, but it also takes slow abdominal breathing to let go of the negativity that says, I can't do this, and instead says, ah, yes, now my imagination is free and I can see myself levitating wherever I am. And angels are surrounding me and supporting me and lifting me up. As you breathe deeply again, imagine that all of your concerns about money, all of your concerns about having what you need physically, about your sexuality, all of those concerns begin to evaporate. And you are filled with divine light, and you are free of those concerns. And then as you breathe again very deeply, imagine that all of your emotions that have tangled you up in relationships, in anger, in seeing your world, all of those emotions begin to let go of the negative, and you can feel your emotional barometer rising up and up from the dark lights to the bright lights of joy. So imagine that if you're in a dark mood and you're feeling yourself frustrated and angry, that you just kind of take a deep breath and you scoot up the ladder of your emotions and you find yourself smiling, and then you find yourself beaming with joy. And at that moment, angels rejoice and sing, and you can lift your voice and sing with them. You can feel goosies all over, as I'm feeling right now, because you have lifted your energy and you are now a co-creator with God. And whatever you can imagine, you can create. But it has to be done with a state of joy, not anxiety or fear. And that's why abdominal breathing gets you out of that state of anxiety. It helps you to relax your body and the tension in your shoulders and in your stomach and across your back. So breathe deeply again, way down into your gut. And as you exhale, see all of your past mistakes just evaporating, and angels taking them and turning them into wisdom. So you've made no mistakes. Whatever you have done that you thought you shouldn't have, you've gained the wisdom of knowing the difference between what you should and should not do. So remember, that's what this life is all about, of learning to be a co-creator with God, of learning to take your mind and your heart and emotions and using them for compassion for others, using them for service to others, so that you can see that you are here to be of service to one another, to stop judging anyone else, even those in politics that seem to be on the wrong path. I just read today where the GOP said they were like the Titanic. Oh my goodness. So let's pray for them. Let's pray for those who are so negative that they're trying to restrict the vote to certain people. Let's see them being lifted up out of their darkness, out of their fear of not being in control of their life through their politics, and letting go of that fear and beginning to see beauty and goodness all around them, to see the sun shining again, and to know that by their moment by moment choices of being compassionate, of helping others rather than trying to get others to help you, of helping others and being of service to others, you will find that your life becomes brighter, your anxieties become lesser, and you have perfect health. And as Johnny says, your blood pressure is perfect. So again, breathe deeply. Feel your shoulders relaxing. Feel your whole body relaxing. And then as thoughts come into your mind, be a gatekeeper. And if these are negative thoughts like, oh, I can't do this, then you can close the gate on that thought and not allow it to enter. And instead, see your angel on the other side of the fence. And it opens the gate for you. And it welcomes you and embraces you in the warmest of ever kind of embraces you've ever had. Allow your angel to comfort you now. Use your joyful, playful imagination and take a deep breath as you imagine that angel standing beside you. Kind of pay attention to what it's wearing, if any, if it's just spirit or if it's in physical form. What does it look like? I call it an it because angels really are not male or female. Even though we think of the archangels, some male, some female, that's our humanness. They're pure spirit, pure energy, and they are in a definite form as God has created them. But they are not, they're not physical beings. They're spiritual beings. And angels are here only to bring light. They are never here to bring confusion or choices to make you choose a certain way. If you have any thoughts of that, then you can just cancel those out because angels are pure love. They are messengers from God and they are all around you right now. Allow them to let you levitate and to feel the joy of being loved unconditionally. Truly begin to feel that, for that is how God loves you. And see yourself radiating light outward, like you're a lighthouse. And everywhere you turn your eyes, light comes through them to others. And you smile a lot. And even if you're wearing a mask, you are bringing light through your eyes to others. And every time you do a deep breath and you allow yourself to smile and to even laugh out loud, you are raising your consciousness and your energy to be of service to others in the way of bringing God's light into the world. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to be a preacher. You don't have to tell people what to do. By just being a beam of light to anyone you meet, even if you're wearing a mask, and I hope you still are, even if you've had the vaccination, but you're still wearing the mask, and your eyes will smile, and they will see that. And when they do, that glow of light lights a light within them. And you can spread that light all over the world by imagining yourself, well, let's pretend there's a little glass spaceship hovering right beside you. There is a panel of all kinds of gadgets and all kinds of knobs. And on that panel, you can see where you would like to visit. Could be a person, place. It could be anywhere in the world that has strife and sadness and disharmony. You can take your little glass spaceship and travel there, because at the bottom of the spaceship, where their bombs used to come out of those horrible ships of flight in the air, there's a light. And you open that panel, and it has this brilliant light underneath in the belly of your spaceship. And you can beam that light down to anyone personally, and it will lift them up and give them a sense of laughter. And they might just laugh out loud because they feel so good for a moment. You can do this with your playful, childlike imagination, just as Jesus told us. Become as little children, so that you can awaken your imagination. So see that spaceship really clearly. It's made of glass, but yet all of the panels are, you can see the different dials, and you can put a picture on there of where you'd like to be with somebody and bring them a blessing of love. You can imagine yourself hugging them. And even without, you don't have to worry about the virus when you do this in spirit. You can go put your arms around them and love them, and they're going to think of you suddenly and maybe even call you. That happens often. So think of those you love and can't be with because of COVID-19. And imagine that you are standing beside them and you are hugging them. And you are so happy to see that they are well and happy. Use your playful imagination for people who are sick. And know that you cannot interfere in their life stream, but you can send them energy of healing. And if they choose to use it, if their soul chooses to use it, then you can be a healer. But again, it is the divine plan for the life that the soul has written, and it has to be followed, because there's so much more to your life than just what you can see with your two eyes and your physical mind. There's so much more to who you are, since you are a divine being encased in this suit that is called a physical body. You have powers beyond your imagination, dear friends. And when you do that deep abdominal breathing and relax your shoulders and relax your body, and then send forth light and beauty and laughter to those you love, you have given them a tremendous gift. Now, contrary, if you're a worrywart, every time you think of somebody and worry about them, you have just sent them a black cloud. And when it drains over the top of them, they just sort of sink, because it actually does create darkness around them. So worry energy, be gone. No worry about those you love. Instead, imagine yourself hugging them, or imagine yourself presenting them with a beautiful bouquet of flowers. And in your imagination, the energy of that picture, the energy of that love behind it, will lift them up. And if they're struggling with a decision-making situation, they will suddenly snap their fingers and know exactly what to do, because you gave them a gift of positive love energy. So worrywarts, you have to change your ways. Do not ever send worry energy to those you love. And that's usually caused by tension in your own body, as anytime you dwell on negativity, it creates tension in your body, which indeed can cause illness in the body. So today, let's cleanse the body of all negative energy that could be stuck in the joints, that could be causing you any kind of pain because of negative energy that might still be stuck there. Your fears, look at your fears, look at your anxieties, and look at why you have high blood pressure, if that's the case. And learn that you can do biofeedback, which they used to teach us a long time ago, and actually lower your blood pressure by just mentally seeing yourself relax and seeing the blood pressure going back to normal. You can do this. Now, if you have some disease, as a friend of mine does, and it has been around for quite a while, it may be your burden to carry for this lifetime, and it was part of your soul's plan. But if it is not, and you have the opportunity to see yourself in divine light, yourself levitating off the ground, and joyous light filling your body, you may indeed have a healing. If it is part of your soul's plan, it is possible. And so don't give up on it. Constantly see your body in divine light. Constantly see yourself as feeling the joy of that divine light and love within you. If you are unhappy, I take a deep breath because that negative energy will drag you down even further into the pit of darkness. And depression can create all kinds of diseases in the body. So if you find yourself feeling dark energy, feeling sad, feeling worthless, feeling like you've not been worth anything or haven't done anything, you immediately call upon your angels to surround you and just sort of wipe that out of your head, because you are God's light in the world. And especially if you tuned into this radio show, you are what's called a light worker, because only those who have that knowledge that they are divine beings can turn on their light and be a beacon of light to the world. So imagine you're in that glass-powered spaceship now, and you can go anywhere in the world and offer that light to change minds out of darkness into minds of compassion, of caring for others instead of their own agenda, for widening their horizons beyond their own selfish needs, and especially in politics, because that seems to be the war zone of the mind. It is trying to capture minds and hearts to do their bidding. And if it is not for the greatest good of all, do not follow it. It's a scam. And I have to confess, I almost fell into a scam this past week. Oh my goodness, it scared me to death. I thought I was going to have a heart attack when I realized I was being scammed. And it was, let me tell you, it was people saying they were from Amazon and that they had noticed that somebody had put $399 charge on my Amazon account for a cell phone that I had not ordered, and they were going to help me take that payment off. Well, as things evolved, and they told me to put in $399, which was, and they said, well, round it off to $400. And the next thing I knew, it was $4,000. I knew it was a scam. And I hoped I hadn't really messed up and caused problems, but I immediately got out. And then I took my computer in to my computer guru and had him cleanse my computer of all of that. So be on the alert. There are people scamming everywhere. And that's the negative energy that's like tendrils of darkness that reach out and try to grab you. There's so many scams out there. You really have to be careful. And it's not just on us seniors. It's on anybody who will bite. And that was a pretty big one because I believed it was Amazon. And they almost had me, but I got out in time. They could have wiped out my bank account. Of course, I would never give them my passcode. And I hope you would never do that. So that stymied them. They tried to get in other ways, and it didn't work. And I finally woke up and then just shut them off. And they tried to call me back because the guy who I was talking to said, I'll lose my job if you don't take care of this. I'll be out $4,000. And I just shut him off. But I almost was out $4,000 or more if they had gotten into my account, if I'd been stupid enough to give them my bank account code. Oh, people, be aware. It's not just us seniors. It's everybody and anybody that people can scam to make a buck without really earning it. So it's a sad time. And that's where we need to do abdominal breathing and keep sending out our little spaceship of light to all of those people who are doing that, that they can suddenly be enlightened and realize that this is not for their soul's growth, but is rather causing them negative and what I don't know what to call it, but it's not karma, it's just what goes around comes around. And if they suddenly get scammed, that's what happens. But I certainly didn't scam anybody. So why it happened to me, I don't know, other than to get on this show and tell you scammers are out there everywhere, trying every which way to earn a living unethically. Did I say the right word? To earn a living by stealing from other people. And all they're doing is hurting their soul and wrapping themselves in darkness. And life is never going to be good. It's always going to be a challenge when you fall into a trap like that. So, honesty, integrity. Remember last week, Raphael talked about the divine principles, and he talked about ethics and integrity and honesty in the job so that you put in your hours, you don't cheat your employee, not even for a pencil, that you have the highest of honesty and integrity in whatever you are doing and dealing with people. But don't expect them to give it back to you in same kind, because we still have baby souls who will always try to cheat and to get what they want in any way they can, because they're just babies. They have to put that little pacifier in their mouths. And if they don't, they'll take it from somebody else. Yuck, what a terrible thought. Put somebody else's pacifier in your mouth. But please take care of your own business and make sure that you are always dealing with integrity and honesty. And believe me, you will, if you are scammed, you will find that you will be saved. And I've been showing on Amazon how you can get Raphael's book, who talks about every kind of thing you can imagine. So please go to Amazon and ask Raphael. It's on the being shown below. You can go www.amazon.com and look at what's there, and that is the code for you to get Ask Raphael. And so thank you, Rebel, for putting that up there. It is a book that will lift you up and make you laugh out loud. It will raise your consciousness and raise your energy such that your life will get better, because you will learn. There's actually some guided meditations in there, I think about 5 of them, where you can actually learn to use your creative energy to create what you desire by using your playful imagination and bringing your energy, your emotional energy up to joy. By doing that, you have a powerful engine for creating good in the world. So do get this book where Raphael shows you how to create the life you desire and talks about some of the most things people ask about relationships, as we've talked about earlier, and also about finances and how to find a job that is perfect for you, if that is what you're doing, and help you through this pandemic and all the things that are going on. So we encourage you again to go to Amazon, as it says below here, and get our book, Ask Raphael. You will enjoy it. So, dear ones, I see Johnny is still here. Do you have any questions for us? Excuse us. And anybody else here? Some destinations won't get comments. Okay. So, yes, there's one thing here. Oh, I have 5 minutes left. Whew. Okay. We're running out of time. If we have any more comments, please, now's the time to ask for them. But know that what we have put out, you can go to our webpage also at Angel Betty Ray, ANDRAPHAEL.com. And that's our webpage. And some of our books are on there. Some of the channeled works that we have done with Raphael are on the webpage, and you can get them there. I'm trying to get it set up so you can get Raphael's book as well, even though it will direct you to Amazon. It will tell you where to go. So So Johnny is thanking me for today, and I thank Johnny for coming to visit us. And I know that we are running out of time fast. And she said, perfect timing. Okay. So everybody learn to meditate. Pretend you're in that spaceship and you can travel anywhere in the world where there is strife and war and dissension, and lower your bomber place and bomb them with light. And when you imagine that people get confused and they put down arms because they suddenly don't want to do that anymore, they don't want to shoot anyone anymore, and pray for gun control. But one last thing in there, make sure that you don't need to have any kind of a gun in your house. And if you're in a neighborhood where it is bad, don't add to it. Keep guns out of your home. And so we thank you for coming today. We know that time is just about up. We send blessings to all of you. And again, Ask Raphael. It's out now. Please take a look at it and make sure that you send me comments. You can go to angelbettyray@gmail.com and give me all of your comments, and maybe it'll go in the new revision of the book because I will add to it. The next time it could be published, I can add more to it. So don't hesitate to email me at angelbettyray@gmail.com if you've got questions or would like a reading. Until then, until next time, God bless each of you. Thank you for visiting. And angels surround you and lift you up, and you are divinely guided. Remember, we are loving you every moment. Take care. Until next time. Bye now.